Now, when it comes to optimizing performance, running a workflow like this, for instance, or something more complex would require a little bit longer, quite a bit longer if you've got an 8GB card. But the process can be completed even without the recommended 20GB. And the way to do that is to make a compensation. And what I would say is you should aim to have about 32GB of system RAM, because the system RAM can be used in place of your graphics RAM. And if you've got 32GB installed, you should be able to complete a workflow like this without any difficulty. However, if you've got something like 8GB of system RAM and just an 8GB card, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be really difficult. It will take a long time if it completes at all. But in order to compensate for low RAM, two things need to happen. You need to be running what's known as low VRAM mode inside of ComfyUI. That's a mode in ComfyUI that allows you to use some of the weaker graphics cards. However, to do that, you really need to be following the installation instructions that are provided in this course. If you install ComfyUI in a different way, or if you install Stable Cascade in a different way, it may not be able to process the low VRAM. So you'll end up having high VRAM requirements and it won't work properly. So use the installation process that is recommended in this course, or that's provided in this course. And also the other thing you want to do is to use the workflows. It's a question of both the installation and the workflows. So the two things to bear in mind: try to have a lot more system RAM if you have a limited amount of graphics RAM. And secondly, follow the instructions for installation and also follow the workflows in this course. And that should activate the low VRAM that allows you to use a less powerful graphics card. Now, we already know that there are different types of models. Some of the models are smaller than others. And if you use the large models that we're going to be using in this course, you will get the best results. So the very large 6.25 and 14.4GB models, those ones I find provide the best results. You can also consider using the what are known as BF16. These ones are quite a bit smaller. This one is 3.3 or 3.1, and the other one, the C stage one for BF16, it's 7.18. So these are a lot smaller. These will fit inside less powerful graphics cards, and if you can get these to work with your graphics cards, they will be much faster, and also they will be able to work on less powerful graphics cards. So that's one option. The light versions are even smaller. So we've got the light tensor, safe tensor, we've got the light BF16, very small, 14GB compared to 2GB, much smaller. You can, of course, use those ones, and let me show you the options for choosing those ones. So here inside of Stable Cascade, inside of ComfyUI, we've got the options here. We can use the larger one, as I'm doing here, which is what I recommend, or we can go ahead and choose the light ones, which they will produce different results. They will definitely produce different results to what you see during the lectures. You can also use the BF16 one. Now, this one should work with most graphics cards. In some cases, it may produce different results to the ones that you get with the main model. However, I find that these ones produce very good results. They produce professional results. The difficulty is you may find that some of these BF16 ones don't work with all graphics cards. So that might be the problem that you have. If you have a problem with a model not working, just make sure you've downloaded it correctly. And if it's downloaded correctly and everything has been downloaded and it still doesn't work, it could be your graphics card that can't handle that particular variant. I would say if you're using the light ones, you might want to go and just, maybe double the number of steps or something, because they don't produce very high quality by default. You want to increase the number of steps. That might sometimes produce much higher quality than using the settings that we're otherwise going to be using during the lectures. So a couple of things to bear in mind. The amount of system RAM, the more the better. 32GB of system RAM is plenty. If you have a 20GB card, then it doesn't matter too much how much system RAM you've got. And also choose your models carefully.